What's good, y'all? PR Corey is back. Back. I'm not gonna be here long, man. As you can tell by the title, it's gonna be a quick live stream. But I had a couple questions I ran through my mind through the week. Some of them I had before, but it's centered around the fact of the soul or the essence of the human soul. Um, I've just been thinking about that a lot lately, especially in regards to what's going on. I don't know if I keep this live stream up or not. I might delete it. I don't know. But I was just thinking to myself about how just us as souls, and when it comes to us as bodies replicating, um, with everything that's going on in the world, souls, I feel like I've always questioned in the back of my mind, where do souls really come from? You know, the question comes up, where do babies come from? But I feel like there's also the underlying mind, subconscious is asking where do our souls come from? And therefore, the question proceeds to go into why are we here from that point. But I just think to myself, or I have thought to myself since I was younger, about souls having, like there being a soul bank somewhere. Every soul that's coming into the world, of course, we got the different states of matter. Right now, we're living solid. We came from a liquid. And before that liquid, which was the sperm from the mother and father, and the egg, sperm from the father, egg from the mother. Before that liquid, 9 times out of 10 was the gas, and that's what we're living in. We're living in a world full of gas slash air. So air is, and then as well, this goes into the fact of where do all of our everything that comes from our body, as far as even that liquid that we produce as human beings, comes from thoughts. Because without our brain being able to function, the thoughts wouldn't be able to produce those functions, those bodily functions. So our that goes into my chakra diagram as far as the numbering and everything. Like I said, the number 18 is at the top of the blue area, the third eye slash area on my before you get to the right after the heart area, basically. And 18 is the noble gases group for the periodic table of elements. So after basically for this insinuating going from in the colors of the elements of the noble gases are exactly those colors of the purple chakra and on up. So I just brought that up for the fact that on that chakra diagram, that's considered and that's dealing with the noble gases. So our thoughts before we are this, I guess what I'm even saying and getting into is the fact that our thought, the ether, all everything around us, as far as our souls and stuff, where do we go when we die and stuff like that? Do souls replicate, or is there a soul bank, like a bank of souls waiting on another side somewhere, waiting to be put inside of a body? These are answers that the human can't provide any evidence to answer. They can only think, in a process and think constructively and logically, based off of what they do witness in the world. And that's exactly what I'm doing now, coming to not even a conclusion, but like I said, it's a question, just me questioning something that's been on my mind. Do souls have genders? I feel like just to answer that question just super quick and just say yes or no, I feel like that's something, that we can't We can't really answer like that because at the end of the day, think about it. It's like saying, with energy and stuff, it's energy, positive and negative. It's all about how you perceive it. At the end of the day, energy is energy, correct? So just what is positive and negative synonymous to? It's synonymous to male and female. So therefore, energy is energy. So we is just energy. So who's to say that we not doing some type of crisscrossing as a soul, as energy? Who's to say that we a man right now in this life and we might not come back as a woman in the next life? I'm just saying it's just throwing that. I'm not saying it's a definite conclusion. It's something I obviously wouldn't be able to have or provide any evidence with an answer to. But I do feel like it's a great question, something to think about, because it could tie into reasonings for things that we saw happen in ancient uh, times and stuff like that. Just for one example right there of a reason to think about it. You know, I personally on myself, I witness replicating all throughout nature. And if everything is based on replication, it kind of makes me think and feel like which would make sense to me because if everything is just based on replication and it's not just a bank of souls that's already made, already unique, that God has already got set up and is being put into bodies, that would also mean that a creator would have to be putting um like constructively, not even constructively, but let me see what's the best word for it, manually putting souls in bodies. And that would make sense too, because that is not to say that would make sense, because that would also tie into what we call the answer behind karma, or the reasoning behind why things are, why you are what you are, why you who you born as, because what you do in this life, I do, and many people on this earth, that's what most of us feel like what we doing in this life right now is going to have some type of effect on what life we have next. No matter what, all I know is it's some form of life is light. As long as you have light, that's awareness. See, if the light is on, how can you sense the light if you don't have some form of awareness of that light? Light is being able to be aware of the light, to sense the light, to see the light. You are obviously in some form of a realm in a world. So if you can sense anything, you're that's what I'm saying. And I wasn't trying to really get lost there, but because what I'm saying is important. God is, as far as the God power, people can call it whatever they want. I will always repeat it because people seem to get offended so much when you even just say God. And that's what made me feel like people got something in them, because that's what I'm talking about this for. Uh, Demonic souls is real. I don't care what anybody on this earth say. Negative souls that still roam this planet and stuff is real. And anybody who don't believe so, I ain't even gonna influence you to do nothing, but I'm just telling you based on what I've already experienced and seen myself. Y'all need to learn something at the end of the day if you think contrary to it. So at the end of the day, um, be playing around with message you shouldn't be playing around with. And based on that fact that there are still souls that live in this realm and are outside of bodies, it's almost like a caterpillar witnessing other caterpillars that have switched over to butterflies, through a cocoon type process. And this body is a cocoon. And they looking at other, you know what I mean, uh, looking at other butterflies, which is the spirits. In that case, I would guess, roam free and be free, and because as a spirit, you can do and see, and you can manipulate a lot more, but you're also limited in a way too. You're gonna have limits in any type of form that you in. That's the thing. Any type of realm that you in, You're gonna have to be outside of another realm unless you just some type of something that know how to or can exist. I'm not speaking metaphysical. I'm talking like a god right there, and that being able to exist on all realms and all of that type of stuff, and be everything. That's what God pretty much is. And to a song, to a degree. Uh, it's just something else to me, man. Just to think about the fact that with life itself and the fact that we can see and witness spiritual energy still be outside of a body and not be hosted to a body uh, at its own free will. That means what is heaven and hell? True. If something can still choose to be here at its own free will, or if it's not, because at the end of the day, we all walk our own paths of life. That's the thing about every living thing on this planet. We all walk our own path of life and got our own connection to the source. Either they choose to be here at their free will, or there is something that is restricting them here and keeping them here. Therefore, that's also proof of a higher power as well. These things, because and that's what I'm getting into, because I heard something get said last night on the panel that I was watching, and it was very important point because I had thought about it before. I can't say I hadn't thought about it before. And at the end of the day, the dude said, he brought up the Bible. He said, how come these people are scared to do certain stuff on top of this Bible and put their hand on this Bible and do stuff if it didn't have any validity to it, which was an awesome question. Awesome question, man. I can't lie. Because I thought the same thing myself about stuff like that. That's how it's some type of, I mean, the fact that they speak of a flat earth in there should let you know enough too. If the earth is, not a globe, and that's what we're being taught, and they say it's flat, and so some truth isn't. So it's a game of confusion. But all I know is the reason why I brought that up is because, like I just said, with certain experiences, certain instances, man, I'm just saying, why is it that when the Bible get read, certain spiritual entities can't take it? They can demonic in it, they cannot take it. Why is that? If it had no power to it, if it meant nothing at all, for why? Now I know I just actually just made a video just a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, or maybe it was even within that range. But I said that the Bible has, if we know it's not the truth, it's not something that we should focus on. Now, I'm not focusing on it. I'm not. But it is the most paid for known book in the world, and when it is brought up, if it's something like, of course, clearly I was just prevalently talking about the souls and everything, but this ties into that. It loops back around to it. Through the spirits and everything that I'm talking about. So I couldn't help but bring it up. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just showing through what I've experienced, and as well as how other people can think and question themselves. Well, it's something real weird, I feel like, as far as the whole Bible thing, man. It's something real. It's very, very weird. And I mean extremely weird. It's like it doesn't make sense. You know, I don't even know how to put it into words or what to really how to encompass it. I don't even know. It's just crazy, seeing stuff like that have power to do. Because see, the thing is, when you ain't experienced nothing like that, no spirit, then at the end of the day, bro, you ain't gonna. What I'm saying, you ain't gonna even comprehend it. You just ain't gonna get it. And that's where with them Freemasons and stuff like that, you got either or as far as the pole. You gonna have either one. You're gonna either have a dark one, or you're gonna have a light one, and somewhat in between. For the most part, it's gonna be either or. And they know as far as into spiritual energies and stuff beyond us, bro. You can't be uh or I ain't gonna tell you what you can't, because you can do whatever you want to, but I'm telling you it's not wise. It ain't wise to sit up and think that there's nothing at all as far as a power or anything like that, beyond you. But our souls and everything, bro, they ain't no telling. I don't know which one what's going on with it. I don't know whether we're just, when I say like a replication, I'm just saying like we could just like the body and the soul being synonymously created at the same time. You know, all not synonymous, but simultaneously created at the same time through a replication process, just like cells and what I've been talking about. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Because if it's a soul bank as well, wouldn't that mean that it's a limited set of souls that's being recycled over, and that, which would make it a purpose of it? Because if it ain't no set number of souls, then it ain't no point. It's almost like it wouldn't be a point of life if we just live in this life one time. I mean, yeah, just living this life. We is just living this life one time, but if we just live in this life and we just this individual and this soul never goes to be anything or anything else in the world, and we just luckily, that's why I question to myself so deep, why? Not that I want to find out the answer. Why? I am appreciative. God knows I'm appreciative to be who I am. I say it all the time. Who I am, where I'm at, I appreciate all of that. But I question all the time what I'm, because and I'm grateful. I'm gifted to be who I am. I recognize it. I could have been born the roach on the floor. I could have been born anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything in the world. I could have been born as, but I'm born as core. Out of the countless, I can't. It's an infinite number of things being generated, and that it doesn't end with me. But here I am as I am. Has my soul been through a process? Maybe the evolution thing doesn't really have to do. I've thought about that really, as far as evolution. Maybe evolution, what they giving us, because they like to give you the truth in a twisted way. I think on a perspective, and I really don't like to voice my ifs and stuff like that, or what I think and stuff like that, or my ideas, and as far as my mind and where it be at, because I don't like people to think and get it twisted with me. I like to prove and provide facts, undeniable, where people can't twist it and make it seem like I'm trying to push some type of logic on people to where no, I'm just speaking really honestly right now, just like I got I do have the right to, but it ain't wise to push it as truth or fact. At the end of the day, dang it, what was I about to say? I forgot. Dang, it was important too, bro. Shit, that is not cool. Oh man, I hope it come back to me. It was important too. Golly, man, I hate when that happens. Dang. Yeah. That's what it was. Thank you. I appreciate it, J. Ma. That's what I was saying, bro. That's what I was saying. It's some type of twisted thing. Maybe our spirit is what's evolving, and they telling us something about animals evolving through the process. But really, maybe it's us, going through some type of spirit, through the when they talk about going through the underworld, because you wouldn't remember none of that stuff being no ant. You wouldn't remember being a roach. You wouldn't remember being a dog, particularly, necessarily. But what if we gotta go through that whole? And that would be like a zip, because I mean, like it's those certain things as you look at it as well, at certain sizes and certain environments based on it, they live for a certain amount of time. Certain stuff live longer than other stuff. So that would be like a zip in the blink of it, and you would be next thing you know, you being born as a human being again. That would be like you going through what they would call the wheel of karma and everything as well. You kill roaches all throughout your life, and you thought you was gonna get away with it. You killed all of these different things all your life, and thought you was gonna get away with it. Ate these different things. Where does that paying back for that come? And why that would also tie into the purpose to the reason, because I question, why are there animals necessary? Why, we not meant to eat them. So why, what separates me from them? I get that everything is connected, but everything is also separate as well, because I can't sense and feel what everything else is feeling. What every living thing, I can only feel what I'm feeling. I'm tied into my five senses. That's what creates every single world. Because without the five senses, you technically ain't alive. Those are the things that you need in order to be considered a living being. That, as well as memory and other things like, other counterparts that come into it. It's something real crazy, man. But I feel like that's the type of high tier thinking that people need to be thinking on, as far as uh that's real deep thinking, man, as far as the process of life. Because once you get into that, you know you ain't really gotta have no definitive answer, because like I say, I'm not proving or having no evidence behind what I'm saying, but that's just the type of stuff I be thinking in my mind, man. And when you thinking on that type of level, and we start providing those type of questions and stuff like that, and those type of topics and stuff like that, that's where people growth and stuff really come from. Because that right there, man, would make some that made me think about life in a whole different type of way. Just really, because I don't voice it. When you don't have any, you don't talk to anyone about these things, but hearing it say, it's almost like being displayed. It's almost like looking at your thoughts. Maybe it's just a weed. Who knows? At the end of the day, all I'm speaking is based on the facts that I witnessed. And it's just crazy to me. And that would, as an ant, you wouldn't remember that life as an ant at all. You'll move on to the next higher level thing, whatever that would be within this world. We don't construct that, just like you got different densities and stuff like that. I'm starting to really accept the fact that there is classes within things. You know, when I look at nature, there's different classes within everything, different ranks, different, within stuff, the different levels. It's just, part of nature. That, but it's all about growth, and all of it really is supposed to work together. That's the thing. It's not supposed to work against each other. All of the levels is supposed to of the pyramid is supposed to work. The foundation is supposed it might be at the bottom, but it's supposed to be holding up the top to a degree. Everything is supposed to be working together. So it's crazy, man. Just thinking about the fact that from an ant to whatever may be on the next level, a lizard, or whatever, a reptile of some sort, you know, uh, to a camel, or whatever it may be, you would be living out your karma necessarily. That's something else. Shout out to everybody out there, man. King of High Self, Kelly Green, J Mine. You said, I'm fighting my deepest fear right now. What is that? You have my attention. I totally agree. 100%. That's what's up. Truth. You are refreshing to my brain. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Good morning to all. Bronze, good morning to you, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. And I saw the UEP went live too, man. Yeah, that's just something I was thinking about. As far as souls and where, like, if it's a soul bank and everything, uh, that would also tie into the heaven concept. Where is these souls at? That the as above, so below thing, the people be that concept to be talking about. That's where I can kind of subscribe. I look at nature and it really more so I see as to left, so to right. As to east, so to west. That's more what I see than as above, so below. But when you look up, that's why I tell people, and with my chakra diagram as well too. Fire flows up. That's an element. All heat goes up. So when we looking up, that's why with them stars and everything like that, that's all heat. So when we talk about looking into a you know, looking down at the bottom and at so below, or what they would I try to stay away from the frame of saying hell, but the underworld and everything. Um, that's where as above, so below can be kind of, you know, because see, when you look at your body, it's not exactly like your shadow. Your shadow is like a whole different type of level. It's on a different type of. I don't even know how to really put it. I guess you could say dimension in a way, but it's based off of the third dimension. Regardless. But man, just the soul bank. I'm just always thinking of that's just what keeps me on track in life. As far as I mean, it ties into it at least as far as keeping my mind on track, man, and just knowing I don't know what happens after this life. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I was at before this. I always question who was I, what was I before. I'm looking at this dog for a reason. I think real hard before I kill a bug now. I might be afraid of a spider because it look foreign to me or something, but I try to catch them now and release them back to nature instead of killing them. You know, because at the end of the day, they not. I gotta think on the conscious level. Is this thing really trying to harm me, or is it really just minding his business and trying to live his life? And if we just so happen to cross paths, accidents happen as a human being, and this is something that a lot of people would view as having a lower consciousness than them. So what would put them beyond having a accident, you know, lower than the human circumstances? Is it a reason to kill it? Is what I think to myself. I think about karma. I don't really believe in karma like that. I I I know of God's will. God got a will at the end of the day. I don't really believe in karma. I know that God got a will, and what's gonna happen. It is what it is. It ain't nothing that no human what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's ain't nothing nobody can, That's why I say with the name, I don't put no name on it. I don't put a face on it. I got my own concepts behind things, and that's why I got my branding is it is what it is at the bottom. IIWII. You know, I love that too. Yeah, a lot of people don't catch that. IIWII equals 4 lines. That means it's four, and then W as well as W is in the middle, in between I and I on both sides. So it's like 2 pillars. And then you got W, which is 23, the 23rd letter. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So it's like it's 4 and then 5 in the middle. That's why that I did everything I did for a reason. That's hard. That's, you talk about gematria, all of that stuff, man. It's something else when you encode your own stuff. That's crazy. Shout out to you, Miss IL and Richard. Shout out to the two of them. Yeah, man, that's something else. That's a trip. That there is a trip, man. So yeah, man, you gotta think outside of the box, man, because I mean, it's just going off of what they already got wrote down for us. It ain't 100% wise at all. They got many people got different concepts based on religions and stuff like that. But it's very important to think, by ourselves and everything. Yeah, man. But I wasn't gonna hold y'all long, man. I didn't mean to hold y'all this long. You know, I appreciate y'all coming through. All who did. So shout out to you. And I'll catch y'all next time. Actually, it may be later today. It very well may be later today. I'll be working. I mean, I'm working on my art every day, but that's what I do. But I may be back later today to broadcast, work on the art, on camera, and maybe chat a little. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it there. Y'all have a nice one.